News is coming in. The Madras High Court has dismissed petition seeking stay on demonetization by government. Says demonetization is good for the country. The move comes as a shot in the arm for the Modi government. All right, the Madras High Court dismissing a petition seeking a stay on the government's decision to ban 500 and 1,000 rupee notes that were in circulation. The announcement was made by Prime Minister Modi day before yesterday. In an address to the nation at about 8 p.m, the Prime Minister had announced that starting midnight, these notes will have no value. The government is now issuing, banks in fact are now issuing new notes, 2,000 rupee notes and 500 rupee notes. Of course, there's also a timeline that's been given to people to exchange their old 500 and 1,000 rupee notes. What we're seeing is that ATMs are still closed because banks have to fill these ATMs up with new notes. We're also being told that there are huge queues outside most banks as people line up to exchange their old notes. We have Rohini Swami, who's with us on the phone line from Bangalore. Rohini, the Madras High Court, we're being told, has dismissed a petition seeking stay on demonetization by the government, saying this is a good move as far as black money is concerned.
Yes, there was a PIL that was filed on the demonetization of this of the currencies of 500 and 1,000. But after hearing the plea very clearly, the High Court has observed that this is a good move because the entire effort that the BJP government or the central government has been doing is to do away with black money. Time and again, even during the campaign of the BJP, especially around the country during the elections, Lok Sabha elections, we've seen how they talked about how they are going to bring back the black money as well as clear any kind of black money in the country. With this particular PIL that was filed in the Madras High Court and the observations made now, it is obviously now it is in favor of the government's decision. We have seen how even Mr. Rajnikant, who's one of the superstars in South India, along with many other people who have lauded the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, on this particular move. And so this is being looked at and being welcomed upon right now.
Right, and Rohini, we've been reporting there are long queues outside most banks in Delhi as people line up to exchange their 500 and 1,000 rupee notes. Are you seeing similar queues in Bangalore?
Absolutely. It's a kind of scene that you're seeing in every part of the country, especially in Bangalore too. We're seeing how people have been lining up in front of banks right in the morning. There are certain banks like ICICI Bank which have opened at 8 o'clock in the morning, and people have been standing in line. And I also know how several people who have visited the post offices, a lot of the government officials have no idea what to do with the new rule that has been put in place, and they are asking people to come back in the day because they have no instructions, and that becomes difficult for people who are standing there in line early in the morning. We are seeing hindrances that are taking place. People are definitely facing trouble, but all this in the larger interest of the people, of how the system, the economy is being cleansed of black money. And that is why we're not seeing too much protest. Because at the end of the day, people are feeling the fact that this move, though it could be a problem for 24 hours to 48 hours, it definitely in the larger interest, it will benefit society.
Absolutely. Rohini, getting us the picture from Bangalore. In almost all cities, we're witnessing long queues outside banks as people line up to exchange their old 500 and 1,000 rupee notes. ATMs have still not opened, which means cash is not being dispensed by these ATMs. People lining up outside banks. We're being told that people are being made to fill up a few customer care forms before they exchange their currency notes. Banks are asking customers to show up with their KYC documents and exchange their old 500 and 1,000 rupee notes in exchange of new currency notes that have been released. A new 2,000 rupee note has been released by banks along with a new 500 rupee note. What we're being told is that the Madras High Court has dismissed a petition seeking stay on demonetization by the government. The court said demonetization is good for the country. The move comes as a shot in the arm for the Modi government. Of course, the government also faces a challenge in the Bombay High Court, where we're being told that a group of lawyers have filed a petition We have Devina, who's with us live from our newsroom. Devina, the Madras High Court saying that demonetization is good for the country. Of course, there's another challenge waiting for the government in the Bombay High Court, where a group of lawyers have said that the government actually should bring in an ordinance and cannot just announce a decision in a public address.
So, Simi, we have to look at this order as a shot in the arm for the Modi government, as we've been talking about, and also as a precedent for any of the legal hurdles that might throw up in the government's way after it's announced the policy that 500 and 1,000 rupee notes should be denotified. Now, we have to understand the time limit was kept short so that those who are tax evaders do not make use of this window and ensure that the money goes out of the country, or they're able to convert their black money into white. So the time limit had to be short. While there has been criticism from the Congress, the government has also sought support from the other parties in the opposition. And as far as legal hurdles are concerned, when Madras High Court has said that demonetization is good for the country, that's a bold move. And the legal might also throwing its weight behind the policy decisions. It is a very welcome step. And this will also set precedent for any other court which might be looking at similar petitions coming way. Now, already the government has preempted and gone to the Supreme Court against any of the petitions that might be filed in various courts across the country, which may delay this process, saying that any such pleas must not be entertained. So this is a time when you're looking at the legislature and the executive and the judiciary all coming together to ensure that this move by the government to crack down on black money is met with limited or no resistance, be it legal or political.
Can you explain to me how this 200% penalty will work? We're being told that those who will be depositing sums more than 2.5 lakh rupees, unaccounted wealth, the government is going to charge a penalty of 200%. What does that mean?
So what it means, Simi, is that on the tax that is accounted, if you are submitting your money in the bank accounts, which does not match with your income that is declared, 2.5 lakh rupee above deposits will attract scrutiny of the income tax department at the moment. And if the department feels that if you've also deposited amount which does not match with the source of income that you have, then there could be a scrutiny from there. So if they find that there has been a gap or a mismatch, the tax liable on that will attract a 200% penalty. So that's a second round of crackdown that we're seeing on the tax evaders. Now remember, it was an income declaration scheme that was introduced by the government this year as well. There have been two such schemes to crack down and to ensure there's a voluntary disclosure of black money by the Modi government so far. The income declaration scheme that ended earlier this year saw 65,000 crore of black money being voluntarily disclosed, and it was at that time that the government said those who have failed to make use of this window of opportunity will be penalized and will be penalized tough. So what you're looking at that time, you could only say pay around 40% odd is what you had to pay if you were you had evaded taxes on the amount that you declared. Now it will be 200% plus, because it's on the tax that will be seen, which will be accounted for in this money that is disclosed by the people, and that feels that mismatch between the disclosed income and the income source that you have.
Devina, thanks so much for explaining to us what these announcements mean. We're going to keep coming back to you for more updates.